Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Andrea. If you guys are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also watch part 1 of this video. This is part 2, and a lot of things aren't gonna make sense unless you watch part 1 first. I mean, it'll make sense, but I'm just gonna mention people you guys and be like, what's going on? So I ended up this story telling you guys about how basically drama happened between my old best friend and my new best friend's families, and things just hit the fan and I was stuck in the middle of it. I thought I would tell you guys about my old best friends and how I stopped being friends with them. I'm an adult now. I've talked to both these girls as an adult now. I'm telling the story as like, I don't know how old are you in high school, 15-year-old Andrea. There's no drama. I wanted to tell a story. Bethany and Brittany were my first two best friends. They weren't the first friends I made when I moved from 6th grade to 7th grade, but they were the first best friends that I had. And I have to keep you guys in mind that every time we hung out, I was always left behind. Or if one would prefer me over the other, it would start more drama because these girls knew each other since they were in diapers almost. Like, I came into the picture in middle school. Like, these girls were friends in elementary school. I've mentioned this before that I don't know how me and Brittany stopped being friends. I think it's just something that happened overnight. We just stopped being friends. Me, Brittany, and Bethany were three musketeers. Every day in middle school and high school, we hung out. Like, we were inseparable. I got in a lot of trouble because of both Brittany and Bethany, but how do you not get in trouble in high school and middle school? So, but in around 8th grade, another girl showed up. We're just gonna call her Barbara. Everybody had a name with the B. I feel like I was the A, who was the only A, but this girl named Barbara came out of nowhere and she moved, and her and Brittany became best friends. I was never jealous about this because I would hang out with them because it's like how I felt with Brittany and Bethany. You know, they would hang out all the time and I felt a little left out, but they were still my best friends, you know, so I had to deal with them. We went to Disney together. We did so many things together. My best friends, even though I knew they were really the closest friends, like that there was no more to expect when they grew up together. You know, I was their third best friend, but you can tell when two people are closer than the other. So when Barbara came into the picture in 8th grade and she became best friends with Brittany, Bethany didn't like that. You know, Bethany felt left out. Bethany would cry and she said it wasn't fair. She asked me how I could deal with that. I said I would feel pretty left out when you and Brittany would hang out all the time. In high school, Bethany's mom and my mom would carpool. So, you know, either my mom would take us to school or Bethany's mom would pick us up from school, like things like that. It would be very back and forth, like we had to see each other. But even then, me and Bethany, I feel like we just all weren't that close anymore. I mean, people fall apart. We're in high school. It's something so much newer. There was a moment that Barbara left, I believe, for maybe like 9th grade, but then came back 10th grade, you know? And by 10th grade, none of us were friends. So, I would see Brittany around and I'll say hi to her, but we weren't best friends anymore. Like, that's just, we didn't hang out after school. Me and Bethany would hang out every so, but it just stopped happening. Like, we would, like, our thing was more like we were correlated to drive home and drive to school together. That's all. Like, we weren't friends, but we were still, like, friends, but we just wouldn't hang out after school. We had PE together, and there was this other girl, we're gonna call her Sammy, and she ended up becoming friends with Bethany. They had a lot of things in common. I don't want to say that like I'm Miss Perfect because I'm not, but they were both very sad, and I feel like I was sad, but I didn't have enough problems in my life to be as sad as they were. They were doing things that I just didn't feel right about. I don't want to say this stuff just because I feel like it could be triggering to some people, but when you're depressed, there's certain things that people do when they're depressed, if you know what I mean. And when I saw that for the first time, I kind of took a step back and I said, I don't want to, like, not that I didn't want to be friends with them because I didn't want to not be friends with them because I didn't want them to do anything crazier, but I didn't get why they were doing this. I know that Sammy had a lot of problems in her life because she opened up to me to some crazy things, but my life wasn't like that, so I couldn't relate. I know that Bethany had a lot of things going on with them, but I could never relate to that in that sense. In that point of my life, I felt like I was so young. Depression never hit me until I was like older. And during like that time, I also became friends with this other girl. I think I've mentioned her before. We're just gonna call her Lola right now. So I just kind of like had Lola, but these girls were who I grew up with, but I had Lola, and you know, Bethany had Sammy. It just all made sense, but I still had PE with them. And what I have to mention too is Lola was a sophomore and I was a freshman. Me and Lola's friendship ended because we liked the same boy. I mean, I liked a boy and she ended up liking the guy that I liked, and he kind of like went with me, but then he wasn't even like, it's just so much drama. That is a whole other story for a whole other time. We're not even gonna get into Lola. But if you guys want to hear that story, I know Lola watches my video. She told me before. I can tell that story, but it just can't be in this video. Lola is not a part of this video, but I just have to mention that I had another friend. In PE, all the PE classes were correlated. Like, you would have senior, sophomore, freshmen, things like that. And there was this boy that I had my eyes out on. And his name, we're gonna call him Henry. So I thought Henry was very cute, but he wasn't my type of boy, but I thought he was cute. Henry had a best friend. We're gonna call him Dave, even though it's super close to his real name, but I kind of knew Dave, but I didn't know him as much as I would end up knowing him in the future. So I would tell, you know, like Bethany and Sammy, like, I really like Henry and he's so cute, and like I kind of want to talk to him, and we would just kind of say hi to each other and things like that. And Bethany ended up talking to him after I told her how much I liked him. And I know you're in high school, so it's not that serious, but I always kept getting screwed over. Even to this day, there's times that I still get screwed over by people that I like, really think that I trust. So Bethany ended up going to talk to him, and they ended up being an item together, which I get it. It's fine. Like, it happened. I liked him, it didn't happen, you know. And then one day, you know, Dave kind of knew. Dave came over and talked to me one day because, you know, they were holding hands and they were dating now, like it was a thing. And Dave kind of came up to me and talked to me. He's like, hey, you good? And I'm like, yeah, why? You know, I was a little girl, I didn't know what liking somebody really was at the same time. And Dave was like, because I know you liked Henry. And I said, yeah, well, it's fine, you know, they do this all the time. Like, it's just something I was so used to everybody always doing to me. So I said, it's fine, it's not that serious. Bethany wasn't even allowed to have a boyfriend, which is like whatever, you know. But Sammy started talking to Dave. It was Sammy, Dave, Henry, and Bethany. I had to deal with it because I had to walk to Bethany's car, and, you know, it'd be times where Sammy and Dave would leave, and I had to walk with him, and then Bethany's mom would be there, and then he'd be like, Andrea, hold Henry's hand so, like, my mom doesn't know that I'm dating him. So I had to, like, put up these crazy facades, and, like, me and Henry were dating, so we would walk hands to the car, and he'd be like, hi, Mrs. Bethany's mom, this is my boyfriend, Henry. And, like, he wasn't my boyfriend because he was her boyfriend. It sucked because I liked him, but I don't know why. It didn't matter. Like, I didn't like him that much for it to be that serious. It was more the context that I liked him and my friend went after him. But yeah, Bethany would do that, and it got to a point that I just stopped being friends with them. More things happened between me and Bethany. We all just kind of stopped being friends. And I met Lola, and me and Lola became closer friends. And then the next year, that's where I met Tammy, and me and Tammy were inseparable, you know. And we stopped doing carpooling, but we were still, like, kind of, like, we would say hi to each other. We didn't hate each other with Bethany, but me and Bethany did something that, I mean, I don't know if she regretted it or what, but I told her when she was going to do something that I don't think she should do it if she didn't feel like it was right. If she was questioning it, I didn't think she should do it. But she said it was what she wanted to do. She just wanted to know my input. And she said, like, when I told her that I don't think she should do it if she didn't feel comfortable or she just didn't feel like things were, like, right or whatever, she looked at me and she said, well, that's just because you still like Henry. And, like, then why are you asking my opinion? Like, he has nothing to do with the situation, but okay, that's fine. She did whatever she did, and her and Henry ended up breaking up. So we're still in 9th grade, and I had Spanish class with Lola, but I also had Spanish class with this other guy who I just thought he would have been perfect for Bethany. You know, Bethany broke up with him. She was still my close friend. We weren't best friends, but she was still my close friend. I would talk to him all the time, and I said, dude, like, my best friend, because I think we were still best friends, but we weren't really, she'd be perfect for you. And I literally put these two guys together. I know I put these two people together, and they're still together to this day, which makes me feel like when you pick out love for somebody else, but you can't find it for yourself, they end up together. And I'm so happy with this guy. I stopped being friends with them, and it kind of had to do with that guy. We stopped being friends, and he didn't like me. Like, I don't know what happened. So we just stopped being friends. I don't know what happened or if I ever did something, because I really don't recall ever doing anything. And that's not me saying, like, I want to look perfect for you guys. If I do things, I'll own up to my mistakes. I don't remember really why we stopped being friends. There was little things that happened. Then me and Tammy became best friends as the years rolled by. You know, Lola and me were, like, cool, but we weren't best friends after freshman year because there was fallout with the guy that we liked. If you guys want to hear the story about Lola and the guy that I liked, ask me below and I'll make that story, but this does not have to do with, like, these 2-part series. I can't film that for you guys. I haven't filmed it, so you have to ask me below because I'll do it if you guys want that story. So then me and Tammy ended up becoming friends. This is where Tammy kind of comes back into the story. If you guys don't know who Tammy is, you guys have to go back and watch that last story time or it's not going to make sense. Tammy was really great friends with Dave. They were the same age. Tammy and Dave were best friends. It was Tammy, Dave, and also this other guy that I really liked. I really liked him to this day. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna call him Damon, but don't think about Damon from Vampire Diaries because he kind of looked like Stefan from Vampire Diaries. I'm not even gonna lie. But he ended up going to the Coast Guard. He ended up being a Coast Guard. And he was a senior when Tammy was a senior, but he left earlier because he was going to the Coast Guard. Like, he was that amazing. I don't know why they brought him out, but that's why nothing ever happened between us. Like, he even told Tammy, like, I would have totally gone for your friend Andrea, but I'm leaving. I don't want to, like, put her into this life because, like, she's so young and it's just, like, this whole thing. But, like, low-key, if you're still out there, Damon, call me. I'm just kidding. Probably married with kids. Tammy and Dave were, like, best friends. Like, I had no idea that Tammy and Dave were friends. And Tammy and me are hanging out and she's like, I'm gonna go pick up my friend Dave. We're gonna hang out with him today. And I was like, okay, sure. Like, there's so, like, it's such a common name, guys, that I was like, there's a million Daves in the world. I'm sitting in the front seat and Dave gets in the car and I like look at Tammy and I look at Dave and Dave's like, cause he thought that me and Sammy were still friends. If you guys remember Sammy. And I looked at him and I said, hey. And he said, wow, this is your friend to Tammy. And Tammy's like, you two know each other? And we're like, yeah. And then he says, like, this girl was in love with Henry, like, as a joke. And I said, I was not in love with Henry because Henry ended up just being a horrible person afterwards. Like, Dave wasn't even friends with Henry anymore, which is crazy because they were, like, best friends. I look at Henry and I'm like, dude, I can't believe that you two know each other and you guys are, like, best friends. Like, we started hanging out so much more with Dave. We kind of liked each other, but we never said anything, and T wanted to make it happen so badly. Tammy's purpose in life at that moment was to make me and Dave go out together, and like, we just thought it was weird because we dated our mutual friends. Tammy was a really good friend because I had this problem. Like, I don't even want to say it was like an eating disorder, and I don't want to get into things like that, but I hated eating in front of people, and I would never do, like, especially if I liked somebody, I couldn't do it. So I feel like Tammy knew, like, at that point she's like, she likes him because, like, this is how I could tell. And so we're eating at, like, and McDonald's or something, like, just me and T, and we're eating. I ordered food, and then Tammy's like, yeah, Dave's coming over. And I looked at my food and I said, you know what, my stomach's hurting, like, I'm not hungry. And it was this excuse that I would give all the time that my stomach hurt, and just, I had like a phobia of eating in front of people because I just thought that people thought that I was fatter than what I really was. Like, I look back in high school, Andrea was like skinny compared to what I am now, but just something that happens when people have an eating disorder or they have eating problems. Like, I don't want to self-diagnose myself, but it was bad and I wouldn't eat. And when he came over, I threw everything away, but I forgot that I'd ordered an ice cream. So they brought me my McFlurry, and Dave's like, oh, whose is that? And I said, do you want it? You can have it, because, like, I'm not gonna eat it. I ordered it, but, like, I don't want it. Like, you can have it. So he, like, eats it. And then Tammy looks at me, and she just kind of rolls her eyes. We hang out. We're walking around the mall, because we're eating the food court in the mall. And my brother worked at the mall. So we're walking by the kiosk, and, like, me and Dave are just kind of being kind of cute walking by each other, but we're just, like, walking, and then T's with us. So we get to my brother's kiosk, and I said, shoot, my brother's working today. My brother didn't live with us. I wasn't as close as my brother as I am now, because I was so busy with school, he was so busy with work. It wasn't like we had free time to, like, hang out and chill, you know? Like, he had such a busy life that, like, we didn't hang out when I was growing up. He first started living out of the house, you know, so it was just something so, like, yes, I have a brother, but I don't see him that often. Like, I saw him and I said, dude, that's my brother. And T had never met my brother. And she's like, what do I do? And I said, well, we gotta say that Dave's gay. We walk into my brother, and my brother's like, who's that dude you guys are with? And I said, oh, that's just our friend Dave, you know, he went into Hollister, he's gay, like, you're fine, like, it's cool, I don't like it, what? To my brother, I'm pretty sure my brother wasn't stupid, he was like, yeah, okay, like, me and Dave would, like, text and things like that, and like, Dave no longer went to my school, but one day, Dave ended up being at our school that we originally went to with a couple of other people one day, and Sammy just so happened to see that Dave was there, and I saw it because, you know, we had our mutual friend Tammy. And this is where the story gets kind of fuzzy. And Sammy saw that, and then I had, like, Bethany confront me later on, and Bethany was like, really, you're going out with Dave? It didn't work out with Henry, and I were going out with Dave or something like that. I said, we're just friends. Which we were never a boyfriend and girlfriend. We were literally just friends who would hang out, and we probably liked each other. And she's like, I wanted to make that happen so bad, but you're so obsessed with white boys, like, da-da-da, like, you still think about Doug. Ooh. Whatever, there's no way Doug is watching this video. I'm pretty sure the Coast Guard has him way long gone. But yeah, then, you know, things kind of fell apart between me and Dave because, you know, he was so much older. He went to college and things like that, I think. I don't know. Because they ended up confronting me like, you're going out with him, da-da-da, when I wasn't. Like, I literally, we didn't even hold hands, I think. But yeah, I don't really know how me and Tammy stopped being friends. It just kind of fell apart, you know? I ended up growing up, and then I hated high school after that, honestly. Yeah, that was kind of a crazy little story that I want to tell you guys. I don't know if you guys found this entertaining. Let me know below. But yeah, if you guys want to hear the story time about Lola and what happened about liking the same boy and just like his whole friend group and like how things correlated, even my sister getting involved, and like it was like that whole story is crazy because it has to do more than just me and Lola. If you guys enjoyed it, once again, I'm not trying to give any hard feelings to anybody in this video. This was just me telling the story as like high school Andrea, you know. But I just thought I would find it entertaining for you guys, so don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know below if you guys want to hear more story times, and I'll talk to you pretty faces in the next one. Bye guys.